Tanya Barnett Show. It's the 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 Tanya. When we talk about real things, talk about life things. The 21st century woman gotta get right. Entrepreneurship, motherhood, marriage, divorce, dating, healthy living, and thriving, of course. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, where we discuss the unique challenges of the 21st century women. So buckle up and get ready, sister, to get your life right.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya.
Hey, family, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show out there on the internet. I'm so super excited about today. You all know I have the dopest, the flyest guest. You are in for a treat tonight. I have a fantastic woman here. She has her own talk show. So here we are. You know how I do. I support my sister. So I'm going to put you down with her so you can support her. Check out her show. Make sure you tell everybody about it. And then you're going to have an opportunity to actually listen to her, hear her story. And we're going to talk about some amazing things that we have coming up really soon. And I also want to thank everybody who has supported my nonprofit Forever Free Books. We are really excited. We have some brand new things that'll be rolling out really soon. So if you supported Forever Free Books, if you donated books, if you donated money, I want to thank you so very much. We'll actually be going to Eva B. Turner Elementary School in a couple of weeks to do story time. And all those little 3-year-olds, about 20 of them, will not only have a story, they'll do arts and crafts, and then they'll leave with free books. So thank you so very much for your support of Forever Free Books. If you want to donate, you can go to the website. It is foreverfreebooks.com. Just like that. Frederick Douglass said, once you learn to read, you'll be forever free. So make sure you check out Forever Free Books. And right after this interview, you get to see Kay, Miss Kay, in this next interview. She will be right here with us here on the Tanya Barnett Show.
Oh my goodness. Can I only give you one? I was dating someone and I went to the restroom and I came back and this man had on one of my dresses. So needless to say, our date ended very quickly. True love to me is when two people make a decision that they're in it to win it, that they are going in the same direction, that they're supportive with each other, that you meet that person. And it doesn't matter if they make you upset, doesn't matter if they make you smile, you just can't be without that person. Hi, I'm K.S. Lewis. I am the author of The Game According to Life and Love Notes for Life. I'm also a relationship consultant and the host of the podcast Kicks and Giggles Show and the show Love Dish. And I'm also a lady in the industry.
Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show. Y'all know I just really messed it up, right? But it's okay because it's my show and I can do what I want to do. I can mess up if I want to. And that shows that we are not perfect. And I talk about that for you moms and you wives out there. We are not perfect and it's okay. We just roll with the punches. We get up, we keep it moving, and everything's going to be okay. So this segment here is my favorite all time. I love my guests. Y'all know I love my guests, but I also love She's Gotta Have It. And if you're not familiar with She's Gotta Have It, that's where I feature a black business that I have to have. So my black business today here on She's Gotta Have It is Babs Beauty. And this is one of her blushes. And I actually have the blush on, so you can see that right there. So Babs Beauty, make sure you check her out. That is BAABS Beauty. And she has blush, she has lipstick, she has some great products. Make sure you check her out. Go to her website. She also does makeup for you. So she's a makeup artist as well. And she will come to you. She's a traveling makeup artist. So make sure you check out Babs Beauty. Let her know that Tanya sent you on my segment. She's got to have it. Right after this, I promise you, you will see K.S. Lewis in a few minutes. See you in a second. Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I am so super excited about my special guest. You just saw her on video, Miss K.S. Lewis. She is an author, she is a relationship consultant, and she is a talk show host as well. So welcome to my show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so super excited. So we're here today to talk about a couple of things.
Yes.
We're both on a panel this weekend, ladies in the industry. And we're on the dating panel. So
Yes.
I'm excited
Me
about that
too.
panel. Thank you.
Me
You. So we're going to have some fantastic women on this panel. We're going to have some fantastic women actually at this event. If you have not gotten your ticket yet, make sure you check out Google Ladies in the Industry. There it is right there on the screen. So make sure you check it out. There are phenomenal women there. We are going to bring it. Come ready to learn, but come ready to be empowered. Come ready to have a change in your life. And so we're excited. We're here. Yes. Thank you, Nia of Serene Management from Ladies in the Industry Tour. So thank you so much for having us both.
Yes.
For her event. All right. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're
I'm so
welcome.
excited to be here. Thank you.
And she and I met a couple of weeks ago at a different event. And we connected, and it has just been phenomenal.
But
it's
you
really,
know, when you connect with the right people and the energy is right, it just happens that way. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm K.S. Lewis. I'm an author. I have two books. I have one called The Game According to Life and another called Love Notes for Life. And I'm a mom. Let's see, my background is really in special events.
Okay.
So for 15 years, I've been an event planner.
Wow. Okay.
And then I also am a talk show host. So
Awesome.
I do a lot of fun stuff.
Yes. That sounds exciting. So can you tell people a little bit about your talk show? Because this show is really about you and what you do. So you can shine, girl. You can shine.
Absolutely.
So and we can't see her butt. So we're going to try to see if we can see her book. Oh, it's
that white cover, you know.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, let me put this one in front then. Let's
Okay.
do that. Love Notes. There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Hey.
So tell everybody a little bit about your show because it sounds phenomenal. I've checked you out on
Well,
YouTube.
you got to come and be on the show.
Oh, yay! And she cooks on her show, y'all.
Yes.
So y'all know I love food, okay? So tell us a little bit about your show.
Yes. We get down in the kitchen. So you know, my platform is Love and Relationships, and the guests come over. What I really like to do is focus on a different topic each week on love and relationships, but then also whatever that guest's signature dish is. Ooh. So if you are from a certain area and that area has a signature dish and that's what you're good at, we're going to cook it. So this season has been really fun. We've had someone came and cooked turkey burgers, but they called them something real different.
Okay. See, we get fancy when we get money. You know.
Yeah, but they were really turkey burgers, and they were excellent. They really were excellent. Nia Events came over, and she did a farmer salad, and then I also had a chef challenge me to cook macaroni and cheese, and I actually cooked the best macaroni and cheese on earth.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I make the potato salad that everybody wants. Friends actually give me the potatoes, the relish, everything to make potato salad, and then they take it to their events.
Oh, yes. So then you're going to come on.
Okay.
We're going to do potato salad.
Yes.
I'm going to have some wings or something.
Okay. Woo. That sounds great. So if you're in the DC area, make sure you check out her show and tell people about it.
So it's Love Dish. It is on YouTube right now, and actually mid-October it will be featured on DC TV.
Yay! Awesome. I'm excited for you. That is fantastic. Okay, and so you're an author as well.
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your 2 books that you have?
Absolutely. So The Game According to Life is about a young woman called Life.
Okay.
And, a lot of people ask me, so is it a memoir? I won't call it a memoir, but it's definitely based on some people that I know, maybe, and some events that I might have been privy to being around. But, life is really, there's a piece of life in all of us. And she goes from young adulthood, to childhood to young adulthood.
Okay.
And it talks about her relationships with her family members, with friends, with love interests. And it just kind of, she has a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. And I think that, I think most people will see themselves in something that she deals with. So.
Awesome. And then you have another one.
And then the second book that came out in June of 2017 is Love Notes for Life. And so because life in the first book was just, dealing with relationships and dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff, Love Notes for Life is kind of my throwback to the little black book. So, back in the day, if you're a certain age, then you had a little black book.
I don't know what you're talking about, y'all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, just me. But, you had a little black book, and it had addresses and phone numbers and maybe some notes about people in it. And so that's my way of just bringing that back out. And it's 15 things. 15 things to consider when you're playing the game of love.
I love that. So y'all know y'all have those single girlfriends out there who are looking for love in all the wrong places. You might want to get that book for her.
Check it out.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm excited. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about dating.
Awesome.
All right. This is Tanya Barnett. Hold tight. We'll be right back with the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. My special guest tonight is K.S. Lewis. She's an author, a relationship consultant, and she's a talk show host. So let me ask you something. How did you get started as a relationship consultant? Because all of us get into our space because of something, I would say maybe 8 out of 10 times is something personal.
Yes.
So can you tell my audience a little bit about how you got started?
Sure thing. So it kind of stemmed from my book.
Okay.
So when I was writing the book, I originally wanted to be a blogger.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about an experience that I was having with my ex-husband at the time. We were in the middle of a divorce. And I thought, well, I'm going to write about this because he did this and he did that. And a friend of mine said, well, nobody cares about what he did. talk about how you got through it.
And so that's good.
It was mind blowing because I thought, how dare you?
Girlfriends will tell you about yourself, like, for real.
Yes, they will. And so, I just started to. So I started to basically talk more about what happened, how I went through it, and pinned it. And then from that, people began to email me. People began to call me. People began to stop me whenever they saw me and ask me questions. And it just kind of blossomed from there.
Wow.
And I always say, because I'm not PhD'd in relationships or anything of that nature, but I got a lot of street cred in it.
Right. Girl, skin in the game. She got skin in the game.
Yes. And so, I give my opinion, and I always talk to people about being their authentic selves and bringing that person out and advocating for themselves.
Right. That is great. And I love that you said that you don't have a PhD in it, but you got street cred. And a lot of times, I've heard people say, well, who are you certified by? And all those things. Sometimes it's just life certifies you.
Yes.
Life puts that stamp on you and says you are credible, you are worthy of sharing this information and helping other people.
Most certainly.
Because think about Big Mama. Big Mama wasn't certified in nothing.
But she told you everything you needed to
Yes,
know.
she
And to
did.
this day, we live by those things.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I'm not knocking anyone who takes the time to go through being degreed and all that. I mean, I actually aspire to do that at some point. But for now, I have to go with what I know.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that you're open about that, because a lot of people hide. I know when I wrote my book and I shared my struggles in my marriage, my husband was kind of nervous because I put our information in a book. However, like you said, people were emailing, calling, saying, help me. This is where I am, and I want to get through that. So I think it's really important that you're empowering women with your story. So thank you for that. Awesome.
And I felt the same way that you did as far as like when I pinned things and wondering like who would say what and who would ask me about this. But one thing I did was anyone who really needed to know that I was writing about something, an experience that we shared, I talked to them about it and in the beginning and kind of cleared it.
Right. And that's what I had to do. I mean, my husband also had a heart attack.
Right.
When he read the first chapter. But, eventually he was just like, babe, this story needs to be told.
Yes.
I'm cool with it. I got his stamp of approval. And then,
That's all you needed.
That's it. That's it, girl. So that is so exciting. So what drives you? What drives you? What keeps you going on those moments where you're like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't think I can do this anymore. What drives you?
I think my interest in relationships and my interest in love itself. I am a true believer in building relationships.
Right.
I believe in marriage. I'm a divorcee, but I still believe in marriage. I believe in the sanctity of it. I believe in the institution of it as a whole. But I also believe in, again, people being their authentic selves and having a voice. And so those are the things that really push me, is that knowing that, when we see social media these days or when we see television these days, there's so many women out there that really seem to be lost when it comes to, I won't say being women, because we're all, we're women, but just having a voice. And I think a lot of times they feel like they have to do things that I guess put them in the light that they want to be in for men that they're trying to get the attention of. But that's not true. Like, be yourself. And so that is one of the things that drives me. And then I have a daughter.
Right.
And so making sure that she sees me, being powerful and having a voice and standing my ground, but then also being, submissive when I need to be.
Wait a minute. Put a pin in that.
I knew you were going to come back to that.
No, only because when I bring up submissive and submission and submitting, I mean, it's like people just want to, just fight me. Earrings off, Vaseline on the face, Super Tims, and they want to fight. But I think it's really important that we have this conversation.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought it up. It's not just me, ladies. See, she said it too.
Me too.
It's not just Tanya beating up on you. But can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, I think that there's give and take in relationships. And I think that, if we could do everything in a relationship, then we would need to have one.
That's good.
And so, there's a part of being independent, because I think a lot of times women love to say, oh, I'm an independent woman. And I always say, well, change the tire on your car, take the trash out,
Right.
pay all the bills, do this, do that, if you're so independent. And not knocking those that can, because some can. I have to do those things right now. But that's not what we want to do.
Right.
You really, I believe that people are built to share their life with a companion. And so if that's the case and you have one, then there's some give and take. And that means you got to have some submission in you.
Right,
So.
right. I love it. And the way I kind of smooth it over is I say, exchange, submit with respect.
Oh, definitely.
And so then it's a little bit more palatable for people to embrace.
Well, it's hard to submit to someone that you don't respect.
That's
So
good.
that's what I mean by the give and take. Like, if you're gonna do the things that cause me to respect you, so that I'm willingly submitting to you.
Right. Wow, that is good, ladies. I hope y'all wrote that down. Okay, K.S. Lewis, get her book. I'm
There
just
it
saying. I mean, I didn't say it this time, so I'm really excited that one of my guests
I'm
said
with
it,
you on it.
and we didn't have a conversation
No,
about
not
this.
at all, not
We
at
didn't.
all.
It
I
just
mean-
came up.
Yeah.
But it's important, really, especially as women. I know when I talk about submission, and I just say how I run stuff through my husband, I've had people say, what, you got to get his permission? I said, no, but I have to consider him.
Right.
And so I think it's really important. Even when I travel, I ask my husband, hey, what does our calendar look like? Same thing with me. He'll say, hey, babe, what does our calendar look like before I commit to this, that, and the third? And so that's part of submission. It's not just bullying your way
Yes.
into getting things done.
I agree fully. And I think when you're in a relationship, and particularly when you're in a marriage, you want to run things by one another, because and as opposed to, the whole phrase of getting permission, I like to say, well, what happens if he wanted to surprise me and I have
Right.
plans?
Wow.
So, it's kind of, again, it goes back to the communication is key. Compromise is key. And just, knowing where the give and take is.
Right. Playing your position.
Definitely.
Being a
That's
team player.
really big.
Right.
So we
Oh,
all have a
wow.
role in a
Yes.
in a relationship and in a family unit.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Even your children have a role.
Yes, most certainly.
All right, so we will be right back after this break with my special guest, K.S. Lewis. I'm excited, y'all. She is dropping gems tonight, okay? Make sure you check her out. She has a talk show. She has 2 books. And right after this break, we're going to come back and pick up the conversation. This is Tanya Barnett with The Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen vision, listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Listen vision, listen vision.
Hey, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. We had a great conversation off camera, kind of like how they do on, regular radio. It was great. She talked about those women who say, I don't need a man. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So, as I was saying, we're independent women. Most of the time it's single women that are saying that. And the reasons that I believe a lot of women say they're independent is because they have to be number one. And then they're trying to fill a void, and they don't want to do the work that it will take to be in the position where they can be found by the man that they want to be found by. Please don't come for me.
Right. Okay. Because she can fight. Like, for real.
Hey, I grew up in the country, so try it, but
it's so true. And I would tell women in church because they say, oh, there's no men in church. And I mean, really, when you take a step back and look at the men that are in church, majority of them are married already.
Most certainly.
And I would say, but if you're here, don't come for me either. Right. But if you're here for Bible study, you're here for choir rehearsal, you're here for leadership meeting, you're here for women's fellowship, where is he going to find you?
He won't. Because he's not there at all those times.
Right.
You know, sometimes he's at the gym. Sometimes he's at the grocery store. Sometimes he's coaching soccer or basketball or just doing whatever. Sometimes he's just at the house chilling.
Right.
You know, he's not always in church. He's not always in places where people traditionally tell us men are.
Right.
So.
Right. So definitely you just have to get a life. Like, for real. I mean, and I shared this with a bunch of single women. I think it was last summer. I went to a book party where I was talking about my book and some of the single women, I said, what do you do outside of church? You know, and that was all they did. So, you know, if there's 3 single men in church and there's 25 single women,
it's a wrap.
He don't want none of them anyway, you know, so he's looking at somebody just outside their church.
He did.
You know.
And he's going to bring them to church and you all are going to see them together and then you're going to be hating on them.
Right.
But I love what you said, Get a Life, because I actually have a series called Get a Life. Ooh. It's a workshop series.
Okay, tell us about it. Go ahead.
So it talks just about those things, like getting a life. And one of the workshops within the series is a mic check. And it's mic stands for My Inner Channels. So checking ourselves, making sure that, again, our conscience is clear, that we can communicate clearly what we need, and that, you know, and that we're ready to compromise. So I believe in that fully. I truly believe in that. I believe that a lot of times we bring our representative to the table.
Yes.
And then we let it linger. We let our representative stay too long. Now, I'm all for, you know, being not necessarily fully on your guard, but having some discretion in what you share when you're first meeting someone. I think that's important because it's the early meeting stages. But at some point, you have to begin to peel those layers back if you really want to be open to getting to know someone and be open to relationship.
That is so good. So let me ask you this: how has dating changed? Because you said that you were previously married. How has it changed from prior to you getting married to today? So
I was married for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And prior to that, you know, social media really wasn't a thing.
Okay.
No one was I don't even know how you say it, dropping in your DMs and texting and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, coming out of my divorce, what I learned is that, you know, men were so used to texting as opposed to showing up and calling. Like, it was the individual that would call was special to me. Wow. You know, that was someone who stood out. And that was someone that I actually would pay attention to because so many men weren't doing that anymore.
Wow. Do you hear that, ladies? So, okay.
And I have a rule of thumb. If someone tries to have a conversation with me more than twice through text, I don't take them seriously at all.
Wow. Wow. So no paragraphs, no dissertations.
No. If I'm busy, if he's busy and it's a quick like, hey, can we chat later? Or, hey, I just want to know how you're doing. Just want to say hi. That's one thing. But a full-blown conversation, get real.
Right.
You know, like you're not seriously trying to invest in time with me because you're not trying to hear my voice. Wow. You're not trying to create time to see me.
Right.
So there's probably 10 other people you're sending that text message to.
Right.
You got us on schedule.
Right. Right. Wow. Wow. That's kind of like my husband. He said that you know, before we got married and before he met me, he would call and say, okay, oh, you're not free today. Okay, let me see who else is free today. And then you're not free tomorrow. Okay, let me see who's free tomorrow. You know, type thing. So it kind of sounds like that.
It is. I mean, the ratio of male to females, especially in a city like DC, where we are, is just crazy. And so I think it's less about doing things to stand out, you know, and being yourself than it is about making yourself available so that when the right person is in place and they show that they want to talk with you, you can do that.
Right.
But if we are spending so much time trying to do what we see on TV, what we see on social media, what we see other people doing that we think is popular and what we think is cool, like that's fantasy.
Right.
You know, like those people on, you know, all those reality shows, they get paid big bucks to look like what they look like.
Right.
And I'm not knocking people that are on there. I'm not knocking, people that enjoy that. But I think to be clear, you have to remind people it's entertainment.
Right.
Right.
They say cut.
Right.
Okay, cuss her some more.
Yes.
Use 5 more cuss words.
Pull her hair, jump across the table.
Right.
Try to slap him.
Right,
We're gonna jump in.
Right.
But it's entertainment. And so that's not real life.
Right.
And that's not how you want to communicate in real life.
Right.
And so, I think being able to actually complete some sentences, being able to actually say, hey, I'm going to be here on Friday at 5. Why don't we connect?
Right.
And then mean it, put your phones down, have an electronic free zone for a couple of hours so that you can get to know each other.
That. I like that.
That's the only way you're going to really, identify whether or not that person is a real contender for your time.
Right. Wow. So to me, it sounds like valuing yourself.
Oh, yes.
And you and I had a conversation about valuing time.
Yes.
And so valuing yourself, and then you teach people how to treat you.
You do. Every day. But if you don't know how to be treated, then you will let anything and everything come into your atmosphere.
Wow. That is so good. That is so good. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to show my interview with the Ladies in the Industry event that's coming up on Saturday. And then after my interview, we'll be right back with Miss K.S. Lewis. This is Tanya Barnett with the Tanya Barnett Show. Hi there. My name is Tanya Barnett. I am a certified life and relationship coach. I am also the author of the award-winning book, Being a Wife Just Got Real, Things I Wish I Knew Before I Said I Do. I'm also a marriage advocate, a hair loss advocate, as well as the founder of Forever Free Book, which is a nonprofit. And I am a lady in the industry. I would say definitely a big no in dating is not respecting boundaries. I think it's really important to understand that when someone has a boundary set, that is totally respected. And then being able to understand and see it from that person's point of view, not being offended by that, I think that's really important, just setting boundaries and respecting those boundaries. Number one off the top, I wish I knew that men were vulnerable and that they cry. I never saw a man cry before marrying my husband, and so when he would have emotional moments, I would tear him down. I would say, stop acting like a punk, man up, things of that nature. Just because I didn't know that men hurt, men had emotional needs, and so that's the number one thing that I wish I knew prior to getting married, because I don't think black women understand that even though our men are strong, they're still soft on the inside. They're human beings. They have hearts. They hurt. They have things from their past that hurt them, and so we're there to basically to cover them.
I love that.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. That was
that.
good. I sound good.
You sound good, look good, are good. That was a great
like a professional.
Point. Yeah, girl.
But it's so true, and we don't talk about men having needs, emotional needs,
they do.
And supporting those needs and understanding their emotional needs. We just don't talk about it as a society as a whole. It's women and our vulnerabilities and what hurts us, and some women like to play the victim.
Yes.
But really, men hurt too.
They do, and I think it's unfortunate because a lot of times men are taught not to show their vulnerability, and so they're so busy being strong and bottling up those things that hurt them. So then they get into a relationship, and there could be like one thing that triggers something, and then it goes awry quickly.
Right.
And the woman is trying to say, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? But it has nothing to do with her most of the time.
Right. And it's so key too to have this type of discussion. And I really feel like, this is something that we need to do in mixed company as well.
I agree.
Not
fully.
just with women. I mean, we're not even having that conversation.
Right.
But then having it in mixed company and allowing men to heal. And being that healing space for them, and
allowing them to speak to the issues that are inside of them, that are hurting them. Teach us how to help you heal. Because we don't know. We're women.
Right. And and giving them that space, and letting them know we're not going to judge you. This isn't something we're going to bring up, because a lot of our men have dealt with, believe it or not, the same abuses that women have dealt with as children. Certainly. Men have too, but they never share.
Certainly. And then if they do share, then, it's something that's used against them later, or, it's just not a safe, they don't feel safe.
Right.
And so we have to create an environment for them to feel safe. Like you said, we have to cover them.
Right, right. And I always, my example is, it's kind of like they're out there playing kickball. Mm-hmm. And life is like kickball. So you kick the ball and you're trying your darndest to get around those bases without getting hit by that ball.
Yes.
And then we, the women, are base.
Oh.
And so when they come, they're safe.
Okay, I
and
like
so that's
that.
kind of how I look at it, that, you know, they're trying to get the first base. You
Right.
know, that could be the job, and then second base is traffic, and third base is, you know, the boss, and just really just trying to get back home.
Just get back to home
to where
plate.
it's safe.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Thank you. You can use that, you know.
No, I will always credit you for it, but
But it's true, and that's how I thought about it. I mean, when you think of the adrenaline and
Yeah.
the energy trying to get to base, to be
to home
safe,
base.
to be home.
Yeah.
You know,
That's important.
And so that's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how I see
I like
us.
that.
So those of you women who say, I'm not going to raise a man, I'm not going to baby him, I'm not his mama, he doesn't want you to do that anyway. That's not your role. That's not your position.
No.
Your position is to cover him. Where he's weak, you're strong, and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's a group effort.
And give him space to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You know? There's
Absolutely.
a fine line between vulnerability and shame.
Right.
And so give him that space.
Wow, we didn't mean to go deep, y'all, but somebody
There we
needed to
were,
hear
right.
that. Somebody
Yes.
needed to hear that, and I hope that helps you in your relationship. Because I'll always get an email or a DM saying your show touched me today. So if that's you, please let me know. You know that really resonated, because it's so important.
Yes.
It really is. So on a lighter note,
Yeah.
I love it. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you see yourself in the future, as far as the, you know, relationship consultant? How do you see yourself in the future?
Sure,
and
sure.
where do you see this going?
Sure. Well, you know, we always have projects on the horizon.
Okay.
And so we are actually in the planning process for season 2 of Love Dish right now.
Okay.
And so we'll start filming that really, really soon.
Okay.
But I'm also connecting with so many different people. And so I'll be doing some live events pretty soon.
Okay. Awesome.
And then more books always are on the horizon. There's a
Okay.
cookbook coming.
Ooh. Okay.
And then, you know, also a short film. So
Oh, okay. Well, you're not
you
gonna have
really
me
are the
back.
first to hear that,
Oh,
like,
yay,
you know, out loud.
Yay. Okay, awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
so-
That is amazing. I told y'all, my guests are dope. I don't know about nobody else. I'm sure your guests are dope too.
Absolutely.
But my guests are dope, okay? She's talking about more books,
Yes.
more projects, a short film. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. And that's the purpose behind the Tanya Barnett Show, showing 21st century women empowering one another. And so I only bring y'all the best of the best of the best.
Hey.
That's it. You know, no, I don't have women come in here and we just talk about any old thing.
Right.
It really has a purpose, and I love the fact that Kay is here today with us. So we'll be right back after this short break. I'm Tanya Barnett with the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, Listen Vision.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet, and my special guest tonight is K.S. Lewis. She is an author, a relationship consultant, as well as a talk show host. Thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
This has been go ahead.
We were about to say the same thing.
Right.
This has been so nice, so fun. I really enjoyed myself.
Awesome. So where can people find you if they want to work with you or if they want to check out your show? Where can they find you?
So the best way to find me is at my website, which is www.iamkslewis.com. And there's links to everything. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Girl Called Life. And on Facebook, I'm KS Lewis Media.
Awesome. I wasn't expecting that to be that short. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer.
That's the easiest way to find me, though. And
Okay.
then they can always go on YouTube. The whole season 1 of Love Dish is on YouTube right now. And so they can just spend a whole weekend watching all those shows.
And she is like chilling. I just love, I had an opportunity to check you out and I just thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
I think it's great. That it's different. It's contemporary.
Yes.
It's fun. And you just don't see wholesome stuff like that. So,
Well, it's a combination of my passions, which are love and relationships and food. I love food. If I could just sit and cook and eat all day, I would. But,
Right.
that's just not healthy. So,
Wow.
So we, combine them. And it's funny, I have to tell you. So I have another podcast called The Kicks and Giggles Show, which is more adult contemporary conversation, a little later at night. But I wanted to do something different with that podcast. And my producer was like, I said, well, let's cook. And she said, well, who's going to hear you cooking? Like, that makes no sense. You got to be in front of the camera.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to be in front of the camera. But, here we are.
I love it. I love it. So can you tell them the name of your show? Both of you have
Yes.
a podcast and your show. Let them know the name of your podcast and your show and where
Yes.
they can find it.
So the Kicks and Giggles Show will be starting season 3 on October 11th at 10 p.m. and you can find it on Blog Talk Radio. You can also follow. You can also subscribe so that you get the little reminders. And then on YouTube, KS Lewis Media has all of the Love Dish episodes.
Okay. Awesome. And I'm hoping to be a guest on your show.
You
'Cause I'm gonna make that
that's
potato
done.
salad.
That's a
on
done
your
deal.
show.
You're on season 3. We just need to find out what date you want to come.
Okay, awesome. I'm so excited. Well, I'm excited about my special guest, y'all. We will be again at Ladies in the Industry event this Saturday. We are on the dating panel, so make sure you check us out. Get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Please.
We have an R&B artist that's going to be there. We have Dr. Kim Lee. She's a makeup artist to celebrities, Erica Campbell, all those,
Yes.
Yolanda Adams, all those wonderful people. We have some fantastic women that will be at this conference on Saturday.
It's going to be an amazing show. Sorry to say show, but it's going to be an amazing conference. I'm really honored. First of all, I'm honored to be on the dating panel with you. You are like a phenomenal, amazing. Come on, y'all know who she is. But to be able to sit on the panel with such awesome women, but then have the entire day with awesome women, it's going to be something. It's going to be amazing.
It's
I
so
can't
fly,
wait.
y'all. I changed my flight from Miami. I was
You
supposed to come
sure
back
did.
Saturday. I'm coming back Friday night from Miami to be at this conference early because I want it all. I want the whole entire package.
All of it. You got to be
Yes.
there from the first minute to the last.
Yes.
I had to consult a stylist because I can't
I
be.
have a stylist too.
But look, I'm not the best at
Girl.
So I can't be sitting up there with you and everybody else and everybody looking fly and I'm not, please.
Right. Because we're ladies in the industry.
That's right.
Like, for real.
We have
are.
to represent.
Yes, we do have to represent, especially for those of us who are, a little bit more seasoned
Yes.
than others.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yes, we will not be looking matronly. I'm just letting you know.
Never
Okay.
that. I
Never.
think we look good.
Yes, we do. We do. We
And
represent
I always
well.
tell people I look fabulously young for my age.
Yes, me too.
Don't be confused.
Right. I just tell people I have a 25-year-old, and then that knocks them out. They can't believe I have a 25-year-old daughter. So, and she's in the Coast Guard, and she's making me a grandma in March. So, I'm excited about that.
That's fun times.
Yes,
You're about
yes,
to
yes.
have a lot of fun.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. I'm excited, y'all. This is Tanya Barnett of the Tanya Barnett Show. Right after this, I'm going to talk about some of my upcoming events. See you in a second.
Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision. Listen Vision.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show. We are back. I'm closing out the show because my brothers are getting ready to come on here in a little bit, and I'm excited about them. They have a great show, so make sure you stay tuned for their show. But I want to let you know where you can find me coming up this weekend. Actually, I'll be flying to Miami on Wednesday for B-Blogalicious. I'm teaching a workshop on tribing up, how to use Facebook Live to increase your tribe. And I'm teaching that workshop on Friday in Miami at 4 p.m. So make sure you come out and see me at Blogalicious. I'm excited about that. And then, of course, on Saturday, the Ladies in the Industry event right here in Washington, D.C. So I'm excited. We're going to have a lot of fun, y'all. There, I'm telling you, you got to be there. If you have not gotten your ticket yet, the information is right there on the screen for you. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. You have to be there. Some amazing women, some amazing content, and your life will never be the same after that. And then also have coming up, I have TED Talk. I'll be doing that in Wilmington in another month. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And I get to share my hair loss journey. So for those of you who have not heard my hair loss journey, if you buy your tickets, I know my girlfriend Renee, who lives out in Delaware, she said she's going to be supporting me, and a couple other people said they're going to make it a road trip. So make sure you check me out at TEDx Wilmington. So if you go to their website, you'll be able to buy your tickets. And that's all I have for you tonight. I'm excited. I can't wait to get home to see my honey because I'm going out of town for a couple of days. So I got to go see that man, put my feet on him because the weather is getting cold and I need my feet to be hot. So talk to you all later. I'm Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, and I will see you here next week with my special guest, Danielle Washington of Road Experiences. What she does is she takes African-American women, busy African-American women, on trips all over the world. She just went to Cuba. She was in Ireland last week. And she does these trips for African-American women. There you go. Road Experiences is right there on the, and she's out in LA. And these trips are for moms and wives. She specializes in taking those of us who take care of family on trips that we wouldn't normally do on our own. She gets all of us together and does these trips. So she is my special guest next week. You do not want to miss Danielle. She is fantastic. So thank you again. Make sure you stay tuned for my brothers that are coming up behind me. I'm Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show. See you next week.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show.